Wheaties. On the box of Wheaties, I'm praying for whoever think they competing. Salute when you see me. That's all he ever, so that's how you greet me. I'm going TM 101, cheesy and pussy.
We're across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run. And let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Locke taking the snap at 1. Getting this around tree out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Now Locke. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he is going to have a Bucs 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On the delay, Jones. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Well, this defense for the Giants, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Here's Jones again on 2nd down. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Play action. Now it's Locke. Sliding out of the pocket. They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Throwing Jones. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run on 1st down. Barkley, and not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Jones. Escaping the pressure right. We're scoreless after 1. Ready to roll for the 2nd quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football on 1st down. Barkley.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley escapes the defender. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bucs are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that
they're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted.
Picked off at the 45. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit.
A handoff to Barkley. Barkley hit and the ball pops free. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And they put it on the ground here on the second drive. And, of course, Charles, that follows drive number 1 where they had the INT.
Makes you wonder what's going on with this team, because a lot of times we can attribute it to nerves, but maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's the preparation for the game. Maybe they just came into it a little lackadaisical, because that's just not looking good at all. That's just not the football that we came here to see.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
2nd and 6.
Here's Locke. That's into the hands of the running back, Roundtree. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Bucs on just 2 plays have taken the lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half. We just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Block working out of the gun. Into the hands of Darden. And the Bucs are going to have a 1st and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Now Locke going to run a little touch pass here to his wideout. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0.
Buccaneers 14, Giants nothing.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Throwing deep for Galladay. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And Jones will hit the deck here, and he is able to pick up the 1st down.
Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
They go play action here on 1st down. He completes it to Beckham. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the 2nd half.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. A final shot before half for Locke. Going up top for Miller. And this one is incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Buccaneers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the 2nd half.
It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And they're down on the scoreboard. Sort of a sloppy first half. And Coach Davis, if you were in the locker room, what would the message have been?
I think I'd have to go with something you don't ordinarily go with in the NFL. That's a little fire and brimstone. You've got to fire these guys up. Make them understand what's going on out there. They were so sloppy in the first half. Too many turnovers. Tighten things up. Maybe get in their face a little bit. Get in their grill. And then send them back out.
And this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career.
And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Oh, he sheds himself free and able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
After that sack, 3rd and long. Tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Jones. Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
53 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Locke. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Azeez Ojulari.
Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To throw it is Locke.
A check down here to Jones.
Only able to gain a couple there.
And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
3rd and long. It's Locke. Flushed out right. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side.
He exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision could get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Off play action. Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton. 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Darius Slayton, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Giants are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
The Giant offense going to stay on the field as they'll go for 2.
Jones throwing for it.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And now look at him go. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way.
Well, there's some excitement, right? Go for 2, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give him a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rallied.
Exactly, and getting back there and making the tackle and not giving up 2 points themselves.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
At the 29-yard line.
6 yards left on 2nd down.
They look to throw. It's Locke. They'll roll him out right.
Finding Miller once more, complete.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 9 yards on the scramble there, but it does leave him still a few inches shy with 3rd down looming. Locke's going to sneak it.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
first down. It's Jones. And some strong running. And he's got this down to the 35.
67 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jones. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Second and 4.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown.
This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they have to try and move past that pick-6 because now they're dealing with a fourth-quarter deficit. And they need this drive to end in points. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. A give to Jones. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. From the 17, Locke. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And if you're thinking field goal from here, it's 48 yards. I think they'd like to get him a little help now on 3rd down to move it closer. Locked to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Jones, and a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, Brendan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here's Locke.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
And the Giants have just about sewn up this football game.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
A 2nd and 11 from the 19.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. How about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Locke.
Going deep this time for Miller. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers.
And the Giants are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game.
Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here. Coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure which one's going to be one of the key ones. But at the end of the game, when you analyze it, 3, 4, 5 plays are going to be the ones you focus on. And that last play was one of them. The last shot had to take it, and they came up with the interception and sealed their victory.
So for the Giants, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints.